Hey everybody, I'm doing a series of lessons on modal playing. So if you're new to modal playing, then this is definitely the video you want to start with before you jump to any of the specific modes. So maybe you've heard players talk about playing in the Phrygian mode, or like I know Ingve likes to play in the Phrygian mode, or the guys from the Allman Brothers over the Dickey Betts. I've heard him talk about the Dorian mode. So different players favor different modes, but the concept for all of them is really the same. Essentially what you do is you take a normal major scale, and so say a C major scale, and instead of everything resolving on the C or beginning and ending on C, things are going to resolve on a different note of the scale. And depending which note it is, that's what determines the name of the mode. So for example, if you're resolving on the second note of the scale instead of the first note. The first note's called the tonic, so I'll call that the tonic. So if you're not resolving on the tonic, but instead the second note, then you're in Dorian. Actually, I wrote down all the names of the modes here just so I don't forget any. So just so you're familiar with them, if you're playing a normal major scale, it can be considered a mode, and it's called Ionian. All right, so just a normal major scale is Ionian. But if things are resolving on the second note, then you call it Dorian. The third note, you call it Phrygian. If it resolves on the fourth note, you call it Lydian. The fifth note, Mixolydian. The sixth note, Aeolian. And the seventh note, Locrian. So you're already familiar with Ionian if you can play a major scale, and there's a good chance you're already familiar with Aeolian as well, because that's based on the sixth. So if you've ever heard the term the natural minor, that's what Aeolian is. So just a regular minor scale. So if we're in the key of C, you go C, D, E, F, G, A. So the sixth note is A. So the same notes that make a C major scale also make an A minor scale. Except instead of beginning and ending on C, we begin and end on the A. So instead of, we're going to begin on the A, but those notes can all be found in there. And just to remind you all, the notes in the key of C major are C, D, E, F, G, A. B, and then C again. Sorry. So there's no flats or sharps in the key of C, which is why I'm using it for these lessons, because we don't have to worry about remembering what's flat, what's sharp, all that stuff. Just remember all the letters in the scale and you're good. So that's the basics for modal playing, is that we're just going to be starting on a different note of the scale. And in the case of these lessons, it's going to be the C major scale. So I've got a jam track ready for the Locrian. One important thing with modal playing is you need to establish the mode for your ear, because it's easy to slip back into just a normal major sound. Some of the modes are easier than others to accidentally slip out of. So the best way to practice them is with some sort of jam track going on in the background that kind of keeps you in the mode. So I'm actually going to start the lessons with Locrian, which is a little unusual. Usually people want to start with Dorian and just go in order, but I feel Locrian is just such a different sound to it. It sounds nothing like a major scale. It's kind of the one that sounds almost dark and creepy. Actually, it depends how you use it. It can also sound very jazzy as well, and we're going to cover both kind of sounds in the Locrian lesson, which I'll be working on. So hopefully I'll have that up in a week or so. But in the meantime, just practice your C major scales so that you don't have to think about C major at all. You've just got C major scale down cold. And if you've got that, then this modal playing should come pretty easy for you. So keep practicing that C major scale, and I'll get the Locrian lesson up there as quickly as I can. All right, see ya.